Before beauty became smooth, before heroes became perfect, someone pressed truth into stone. He didn't ask marble to flatter humanity, he asked it to confess. Wrinkles stayed, fear stayed, weakness stayed. Because Donatello believed if art lies about the body, it lies about the soul. And after him, the Renaissance would never be the same. The Renaissance is often remembered as an age of ideal beauty, but that beauty was built on something far less comfortable: honesty. Before harmony, there was confrontation. Before perfection, there was truth. Donatello was the sculptor who forced art to look directly at the human condition, not as it should be, but as it is. Donatello was born around 1386 in Florence, a city rediscovering the ancient world. Stone surrounded him, bronze surrounded him, and so did the ruins of Rome, quiet reminders of what art once was. As a young artist, he trained in the workshop of Lorenzo Ghiberti, working on the bronze doors of the Florence Baptistry between 1404 and 1407. Here, Donatello learned control, precision, tradition. But control was never his destination. Truth was. Medieval sculpture avoided reality. Bodies were symbols. Faces were masks. Donatello rejected this entirely. He studied ancient statues not to copy them, but to understand weight, balance, and presence. He watched how people stood when tired, how age reshaped posture, how emotion lived in muscle. For the first time in centuries, sculpture began to feel alive again. In St. Mark, 1411 to 1413, the Renaissance steps forward. The figure leans, carries weight, occupies space. This saint does not float above reality. He stands inside it. Stone is no longer symbolic. It is physical, human. Around 1440 to 1443, Donatello created his bronze David, the first freestanding nude sculpture since ancient Rome. But this David is not triumphant in strength. He is quiet, youthful, almost uncertain. Victory here is mental, strategic, human. Donatello dismantled the idea that power must look powerful. Donatello's figures do something radical. They think. In Habakkuk and Jeremiah from the 1420s, faces are tense, bodies are thin, emotion is unavoidable. These sculptures do not represent ideas, they reveal inner lives. This psychological realism became a foundation of Renaissance art. Donatello also redefined technique. He developed schiacciato, a sculptural method so shallow it barely rises from the surface. In St. George and the Dragon, circa 1416 to 1417, space unfolds in millimeters. Stone behaves like drawing. Sculpture taught painting how to see depth again. In 1453, Donatello completed Gattamelata in Padua, the first monumental equestrian statue since Roman times. But this is not conquest carved in bronze. The horse is controlled. The rider is calm. Power is restraint. Authority is intelligence. As Donatello aged, he stopped trying to please entirely. The Penitent Magdalene, 1453 to 1455, is stripped of idealization. The body is worn. The face is hollow. Faith replaces beauty. This sculpture does not comfort the viewer, it challenges them. Donatello did not polish the Renaissance, he cracked it open. He revived classical sculpture, introduced psychological realism, invented new techniques, redefined heroism and power, and placed emotional truth at the center of art. Without Donatello, there is no Michelangelo. Donatello died in 1466 in Florence, buried beside Cosimo de' Medici. He left behind no school of beauty, only a standard of honesty. Raphael refined harmony. Michelangelo elevated power. But Donatello did something first, and something braver. He made stone tell the truth. And once art learned how to confess, it could never return to silence.